Tonight in My Country. By RASAQ MALIK. RASAQ MALIK. RASAQ MALIK is a living Nigerian poet born on December 30, 1992 in Iseyin, Nigeria. Studied at Blue Crescent International College, Iseyin, and in University of Ibadan. Wrote the first poem for the late lawyer and activist, Gani Fawehinmi. Worked in many newspapers and online journals including The Rattle, Michigan Quarterly Review and Poet Lore. He is also called as a hunter poet. Best known poetry is In Another World. Loves to write poetry and everything that evaluates the art of writing. Tonight in My Country. Poem dwells on the grief and calamities of this century. RASAQ tries to feed us with the troubling tales of the people in the troubling world through this poem. Indicates the traumatic events that he either directly witnessed or seen in the news. Attempts to navigate the labyrinth of despair and the endless list of grief that defines the daily life. Summary. The poem is in the first-person narrative and the poet indicates the suffering of the people he witnessed. Poem opens with the poet saying that when he opened the window he was reminded of the city burning to ashes. He pictures the city which is covered with corpses and the crows feasting on it. The women are arranging the tombstones for their children. He sees the houses which are empty are decorated with the photographs of the dead children. He also witnesses a man carrying the wounded child in his shoulder after a bomb blast. Though some children are safely sleeping, the other parts of the nation is scared as children are smuggled for slavery. These children were smuggled and are sold as slaves to some other strange lands by crossing the borders of their nation. Some are buried in the graves or the mothers are weeping on their tombs with tears flowing down like flood. The poet says that it is hard to be a mother in such a nation where every day they bear only grief in their mouth. Some days during the morning the cart arrives with the dead bodies of these children to be buried. Some days the funeral too will not happen as they are engulfed by the earth and provides only great sorrow. The death is filled in all place like the air. Even in the classrooms the violent attack happens and the bullets will pierce the students making them to find their eternal place under the earth. The poet says that during the night the child watches him who is surrendering himself to the grief. The howling of the birds outside makes the poet to remember the mourning its child as the women outside are mourning their children in the places ruined by bombs. These women are crying as they feel lonely and longing for a solace for their destitute soul. The poet says that there is no light in the world or there is no hope for the future too. The darkness of violence and slavery has covered the nation and the natives are longing for peaceful life filled with happiness. The poet needs his nation to be free from the problems emanating from slavery, war, and unrest. For more videos, like, share, subscribe. Thank you.